right, everybody got quiet at once. Thank goodness. If you haven't found a seat and you'd like one, please join us right up here. There are a few seats available. My name is Paul Clowers, and I'm with the Development Department. It's an honor to stand here with you today on World AIDS Day. We're going to break ground on the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial. This memorial will be a place of remembrance, of healing, and of hope. A place where stories are honored and where lives lost are never forgotten. At the Development Department, we have been proud to stand alongside the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial Task Force to help bring this vision to reality. Our community set a bold fundraising goal of $1.2 million, and we're just $275,000 away from our efforts. So today, we ask with gratitude to all of our supporters and funders and donors and all of you here today to give for the first time or give again so that together we can finish the work we've begun. You'll soon hear from several voices who have led us to this moment. Dan Spencer, founder and spokesperson for the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial Task Force. Palm Springs City Council member Jeffrey Bernstein, and memorial artist Philip K. Smith III. Each of them will speak to the purpose, the history, and the artistry of this memorial, each from a place of deep commitment. After the remarks, I invite you to visit the memorial site, which many of you have already seen, and view the model displayed just behind you. It offers a glimpse of what will soon be standing here as a lasting testament to the love, to the courage, and to our community. Thank you all for being here and supporting this work and helping keep the memory alive. And now, please join me in welcoming the founder of the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial Task Force, Dan Spencer.
Thank you, Paul. So grateful to be here today. It's a beautiful day, and it's a beautiful project that we're going to be seeing come to fruition. Okay. Thank you for all our friends, hundreds of donors, passionate community members, and our wonderful city. All have contributed time, energy, emotional support, shared their stories, and contributed their resources to the creation of the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial. I would like to take a moment here and thank the other task force members, Jeffrey Juraski, Mike Ritchie, Stuart Kent, Arturo Fernandez, Dana Manciagli, Carol Ketchum, and Philip Smith, generously designing the memorial pro bono. And thanks to all our spouses. Rounding out the efforts are Paul Clowers and Shoshana Statler from the Development Department, Tim O'Bailey and Bob Bogart from O'Bailey Communication. We thank the City of Palm Springs, LGBTQ Center, Palm Springs Art Museum, and our fiscal sponsor, DAP Health. Thank you all. I had my remarks prepared this Thanksgiving week, and then our government declared there is no World AIDS Day. Erase history, erase the people we have loved and lost, and dim the support of those we continue to love. We cannot let this happen in our loving, supportive, and inclusive community. Having experienced the 80s when the president waited 4 years to acknowledge AIDS, we know that silence equals death. Take a moment and try to imagine the 80s and 90s had never existed, and that the trajectory of your life and our community had not changed. But the trajectory of our lives and the trajectory of our community did change. No matter where we came from, our individual stories are interconnected in so many ways. Our life paths to this community at this time in history are all unique, and yet our stories similar. In Palm Springs, Desert AIDS Project was created the same year my housemate, social worker and chaplain Morris Floyd in Minneapolis, was on a team that created the Minnesota AIDS Project. The years Palm Springs was creating medical and hospital facilities were my years as an architect designing clinics and a day center for people with AIDS. During the 80s, I created a file labeled Grief, with obituaries, photos, mementos of the lives we had together. That file traveled with me since those early days of the pandemic, when my personal and professional mentor, Jim, moved to California to die. The file also includes a graduate school friend and his partner, who I visited on my first trip to Palm Springs in the 80s, as they moved here from Guerneville. At some point, the grief file was not big enough. We filled the National Mall with the AIDS Memorial quilt, and we started the process of building memorials, so we would not forget, not let our history go, and our friends be erased. 25 years ago, life's trajectory from Minneapolis to Palm Springs was only partially related to having lived through a life of winters. For my husband, Joaquin, 10 Minnesota winters were definitely enough. More significantly for many of us, had to do with Palm Springs itself, this inclusive community that evolved out of 2 decades of taking care of its citizens, of providing critical and loving support, of being a community of activists that creates systems and organizations, and a new way of living together. Some have heard me talk about our memorial history. Right at the museum in 2013, Danielle Cornell produced the World AIDS Day, Day Without Art, at the Palm Springs Art Museum, and asked me to speak on memories and memorials, and my work on the Key West AIDS Memorial. I ended with the question, when will Palm Springs have an AIDS memorial? Today, 12 years later, I'm smiling and answering that question with a beautiful and significant memorial to remember our brothers and sisters who have died and those who continue to live with HIV and AIDS, to the loving caregivers and families that transformed this community, continuing today to provide care, and the institutions, organizations, and community that provide loving support. It is so significant that it is here, in the heart of a city and valley, that opened its arms, mind, and hearts to create an amazing, inclusive community that we love. Today, our memorial, our well of love in the desert, speaks loudly and collectively for those who doubt. We will forever remember, forever loved, and forever celebrated. Thank you for being here to celebrate with us today. And yes, we need some more support, and we celebrate with you in the spring with the dedication of the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial. Throughout the past 10 years of our effort, the city leaders, the Arts Commission, the City Council has provided amazing support for our effort, contributing the land and financial support for the installation. The memorial would be gifted to the city and be part of the growing collection of impressive public art. We are thankful for this stewardship. It is my honor now to introduce my friend, Council Member Jeffrey Bernstein, who more than once said to me many times, keep going. Thank you, Jeffrey.
Thank you. Thank you for including me in today's event. And I want to especially thank Dan Spencer and the whole AIDS Memorial Task Force for having the vision of creating an AIDS Memorial in Palm Springs, a permanent reminder of what so many of us have lived through and still live through today. It took years of work, fundraising, organizing, and dedication. There was a period last year when a bump in the road threatened the project. But our community came together, just like the community came together decades ago to fight HIV/AIDS, and like our community of Palm Springs always comes together. Through listening, communicating, through people telling their stories, through awareness, we arrived at something even more moving and powerful than I think was ever envisioned. The process of the Palm Springs AIDS Memorial, just getting to this point, enabled so many people to tell their story, and I heard from hundreds of you. From those who volunteered in the hospital to bring AIDS patients meals because the nurses wouldn't go in the room. From someone who turned his home into a hospice. From someone who took a risk on reporting on the first AIDS ward in the nation. To those who started the Desert AIDS Project in 1984. People who were fired because of their status. People who were denied the ability to be with their loved ones while they died. Denied by the hospitals and by their loved one's family. And from so many of you who had lost someone. And I was at the listening sessions where the incredible Philip K. Smith focused intently as so many told their story. And now, as a result, Philip has created not only a beautiful work of art, which one day very soon will live on this site, but something so much more. Philip has designed a memorial, a vehicle, so that each of us can tell our story, continue to tell our story, and ensure that awareness of what so many have been through and are going through lives on. I'm so proud of everyone involved, especially the community. And today is World AIDS Day, and we as a city, as a community, and a nation need to understand the importance of awareness. This memorial will create a permanent and lasting awareness. And the importance of awareness of World AIDS Day, which started in 1988, took on a whole new level of importance this week, as Dan mentioned. And our government issued a notice saying the policy is to refrain from messaging on any commemorative days, including World AIDS Day. To refrain from publicly promoting World AIDS Day through any communication channels, including social media, media engagement, speeches, or other public-facing messages. And went on to say Awareness Day is not a strategy. But now this memorial has taken on a whole new level of importance. We're still here. We who remember 40 years ago when many of us watched those of us around us get sick and die. And awareness does matter. And it was years before our president acknowledged the existence of HIV and AIDS 40 years ago, while thousands of people were dying. And at the time, there was no cure, no treatment, and HIV wasn't really talked about. I mentioned how I heard many people tell their story. Mine was about creating awareness 35 years ago, 40 years ago. You see, at that time, there was no internet, no social media. The press didn't really talk about it. You couldn't mention publicly having safe sex or wearing a condom. And the only way to stop the spread of HIV was through education and awareness. And that awareness came too late for so many, but it did come. And now we are meant to believe that awareness is not a strategy. This memorial, with the words forever celebrated, forever loved, forever remembered, speaks to the many lives lost. And it's now more important than ever. I'm so proud to live in a city who understands it's equally important to preserve history by celebrating, loving, and remembering those we have lost and those we have lived through the devastation of HIV/AIDS. That it's equally important to ensure this never happens again. This memorial needs to be here to educate and create awareness for future generations. Thank you, Dan, and the entire Palm Springs Memorial Task Force. Thank you, Philip. Thank you to the community who shared your stories, your memories, your pain, your heartache, and your love. Thank you to all who contributed financially and hopefully will continue to do so until this is finished. Because yes, awareness is a strategy, and this memorial will create this awareness. And now I'd like to introduce the artist, Philip K. Smith.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Philip Smith. For the last 4 years, every time I stood in front of a large group of people, I talked about the concepts around the memorial. There were renderings, and it was a hope and a dream. This morning, though, I'd like to give you an update on our memorial, The Well of Love, as it shifts from vision to reality. The large chunks of marble for the memorial's 3 oval forms have been identified by the stone quarry in Sardinia, Italy, and are being delivered to our stone fabrication team, Garfagnana Innovazione, just north of Lucca. The milled and polished aluminum for the 3 oval pools of tiers will begin fabrication shortly by our aluminum fabricator, Active Alloys in Chicago, Illinois. Our selected general contractor, Tom Rice Construction, has met with the city on site here at the downtown park to discuss construction coordination. The project is just days away from completing its preliminary engineering review by the city of Palm Springs, with drawing and design support for civil engineering from MSA Engineering here in Palm Desert, structural engineering from Ruhu Engineering in Berkeley, California, and overall project oversight and coordination by Kizzy Art Production in Brooklyn, New York. Additionally, working with local Palm Springs-based company Consist, we are fully in the midst of design for the online experience, where when visiting the memorial, you can scan a QR code that lets you learn more about the memorial, the concepts behind it, the timeline of HIV/AIDS in Palm Springs, and more. It is a local, national, and international team working tirelessly to build this memorial for Palm Springs. As Paul mentioned, we are close to our fundraising goal, but we still have $275,000 to raise. So spread the word. Let people know that this memorial is underway. It's no longer a rendering. In the end, the memorial would not be happening if it weren't for this amazing community showing up, sharing, discussing, and contributing. So thank you to all of you for coming out today and showing your support for this important project. We look forward to celebrating back here in the park with all of you in the late spring, when all of the hopes, funds, and hard work come together in the physical reality of the new Palm Springs AIDS Memorial. Thank you so much, everybody. Appreciate you being here. So those of you that don't have dark glasses, I am the last speaker. We're going to take a few photos over by the memorial site. You saw the pile of dirt and the golden shovels, the infamous golden shovels with the hard hats. The model is over there. The polished aluminum mock-up is there. The task force is here. So please pull us aside, ask questions, take photos, and share what you've seen today with the rest of the community. Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
This is Nicholas. Hang out for a moment. I'm going to share some things with you.
Jeffrey? Thank you so much.
It's the excitement.
This loud music. This is live TV on the move. Wherever you may be watching, I would be honored if you would share this broadcast across whatever platform you're on to your friends, your followers, and people that you think need to hear the message of today.
Do you want to keep coming?
Pardon me? Excuse me? Pardon me? Pardon me? Excuse me? Can I get through, Jeff? Hi. Excuse me? Pardon me?
Pregnant lady coming through.
Excuse me. Thank you. I'll get out of the way, I promise. They're just posing for photos here.
Just to note, it's celebratory. The construction fence is probably going to show up like end of February, so don't be surprised if you don't see tons of work happening tomorrow. Just to be very clear. Here's a photo.
We got the visor, so I just want to see who you are.
All right.
1, 2, 3.
I'm just very grateful that this event has brought out a nice number of people. Very important day here today.
One more, Lonnie.
How about one pose right here while I'm here? Not yet, but it's coming.
I'm going to see if I can see it again. Not only volunteers, but each setting up the race. Like we have race but you just sort of